So, did Google get rid of EE and now we're just left with AT? It kind of seems like. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in today's video. My name is Rob, and I'm just some average bozo from the Midwest who likes talking about blogging and what he's learned about blogging over the last couple of years. I'm not an SEO smarty pants. I'm not a whiz kid. I'm just a really hard worker whenever it comes to my blog. So if blogging is your thing, if it's your jam like it's my thing, maybe throw me a subscribe bone and maybe watch my other videos. I got a bunch of stuff on here. But today, I want to talk about EEAT, but I guess technically now, or right now, it's just AT. EEAT was born just over a year ago at the end of 2022. And that was a really big deal at the time because EAT had been around for like 8 years prior to that. So the extra E on there was a big deal. It was intentional, it was thought out, and it did what it was supposed to do. The result of EEAT matched what they said the intention of EEAT was supposed to be. And then of course now, then 7-8 months later, the HCU rolls out and essentially strips off the EE. And I thought a lot about this today. And I'd be curious y'all's thoughts on this. I thought a lot about this, and that in itself, if you set aside what happened after the HCU, well, actually, you kind of think about that, but if you kind of look aside from that and you go just at the EEAT, that was such a big deal and done with purpose. It doesn't make any sense for Google to then, less than a year later, roll out updates that essentially null and void the EE part of that whole thing, the expertise and the experience. It doesn't make any sense because that was such a big deal. So if we can say that that is true, if that doesn't make any sense, then I think that it is also a viable thing to say that Google, what has happened since the HCU, wasn't the intended result. It wasn't what they thought was going to happen. We've all kind of said this, just like we think that that's theory, but that's just because we don't like where the rankings are at. But if we look back just over a year ago at what they did with EEAT, to me, that proves more than anything that what has happened now isn't what they wanted things to be. They don't want spam in the top results. They don't want articles that don't actually answer the user's queries. Like, that's not helpful for Google whatsoever. We're over here going, everybody's going to leave Google because your answers are bad. They know that. Like, they know that. So I think that what we're still frustrated and everything right now because there's no real clarity and no paths forward from Google, and there may never be. They may not even be offering a path. The model might have changed. We don't know. But to me, if we look at the way things turned out, I'm aggravated at the updates. There was update after update. There was updates on top of other updates. But to me, that stuff is all kind of like whatever. I think for me, the bigger thing is that EEAT was rolled out just over a year ago with intention, with purpose, after almost a decade-long EAT, right? So this wasn't by any accident. So I think that it was an important and intentional step by them that once they rolled out the HCU, it just felt like they were stumbling over themselves and trying to fix the last thing that they broke, etc. So, as we kind of get through the beginning of this next year and try to figure out, well, what are we doing now? What is the actual landscape of things? To me, that's what I would recommend just keeping in mind, is that there is no clarity from Google still, right? We're not exactly sure what's coming next or what to do next. We know we got SGE right around the corner, which I'll make another video about that this week. There's something wrong with SGE because it's doing some weird stuff. But we don't really know. But the one thing that I think we can look at is just go, is this, in our heart of hearts, if we set aside our aggravation and frustration, if you're somebody like me whose website got totally destroyed and you try to set aside your personal feelings and you just ask the question, is this what Google actually wants? Do they want bad results, especially knowing what they just did, just over a year ago with the EEAT? I think that just logistically on paper, it doesn't make any sense that this was what they were wanting it to be. And if that's true, then they will need to work to rectify that. They'll want to right that ship in some form or fashion. Does that mean our websites turn around? I don't know. Probably not. Maybe. Of course. Nobody knows. Everybody's still kind of guessing at this point. But I think that set aside your own kind of thing for Google right now. Just go, does it make any sense? And to me, that answer is just no. And if I set aside my own stuff and the answer is no, then to me, that also says then Google will do what they need to do to make those SERPs quality again. And when that comes, who knows? Maybe it's the next rollout. God, I don't want another rollout. I don't want another update, but we need it. If you're totally screwed on traffic, you kind of need it. So I just wanted to kind of take a few minutes and talk about that. It is all AT right now. The SERPs are authoritativeness and trustworthiness to whatever degree. The experience and the expertise is generally gone from the SERPs. And I just don't think, after all that work that Google put into EAT and then EEAT, I just don't think that's what they wanted to have happen. And that might actually be good news for those of us that lost all of our traffic. I'll do another video this week about the SGE thing. It's pretty interesting. I'm not scared of it because right now it's acting so goofy. But I did see a report that was a little bit of an eyebrow raiser as far as what this is going to do to traffic in like 5 years or something like that. So I'll talk more about that this week. So again, hit subscribe so whenever that video comes up, you are in the know. Thanks y'all so much for watching. Appreciate you. Hit subscribe, hit like. We'll see you on the next video. Peace out.